you need $2,000. What can you sell? Either something that you already have, that you already offer, or more simple, you can sell the exact process I'm about to show you. Because here's what the process basically does. AI cold outreach is nothing different than a sniper, which helps you find the right people accurately, fast, and cheap. And so you can either use it to find leads for your current offer, or you can resell it, just like people sell sniper rifles. It's very valuable. And you can sell the sniper rifles for $3,500, just like I did, or all businesses will always need to have new clients. So as long as you know how to use and build those rifles, then you will have work. So now that we understand what to sell, we need to understand who needs it, okay? The few profiles who can need AI outreach, AI lead gen, will be people who sell high ticket. So for example, consultants, coaches. And why is that? It's because AI cold outreach is just like I said, it's like using a sniper rifle. It's very specific, very accurate, which means we're going to invest a bit more effort into selecting the right leads, into having the right conversations. And so why put all of that effort if it's only to sell a low ticket thing, right? It's not worth it. Now, why the SaaS? Because you're going to tell me the SaaS, they sell low ticket. They sell subscriptions that are in the tens of dollars. Well, that's helpful because with the SaaS, what they need is more users. And what if we could talk to the people whose audience is their users, right? I'm talking creators, for example, which is exactly what I do with OneSaaS, who is building a product for educators, coaches, and those people can be found in the audiences of a few creators, which is why it's good to talk to them. So you gotta think about it this way, because then there's volume. If we get to a creator and he talks about the product, he's gonna reach a lot of people, but we only need to reach one of them in order to reach all of his audience, right? Who doesn't need it? People who sell courses or cheap stuff. That's not how we're gonna use AI cold outreach, and e-commerce people. Unless you have a strategy that looks like the one we're doing with the SaaS. That's different. Okay, so now we know what to sell and we know who needs it. So we need to understand how to use it, either for yourself or to sell it to others. So here's the full breakdown. It starts from social media, where you're gonna have the leads, and you want to develop a way of scraping those leads. There's a bunch of ways. What I will do is try to find the website or some more information about those leads, because just social media is not enough, but social media usually points to some kind of website, some kind of offer, and by getting the offer of those leads, we understand what they're selling. And when we understand what they're selling, we understand if they're in our target. That's the goal here. When you do that, you want to add those leads into a Google Sheet. And that Google Sheet will have for goal to not only gather those leads, check that they're not duplicates. You can do that with formulas. I've showed it in other videos. And you can also delegate it to virtual assistants who will do the work for you and add them into your Google Sheet. Now, where does the AI cold outreach come from? It comes from here. So that step is key nowadays. Because we need to be super fast in order to be competitive, we're going to use AI to enrich the data. Why should we enrich the data? What does that mean? Enriching the data means that we're going to get some data here, some basic data, maybe the email, maybe a URL of their YouTube channel, whatever. And with that data, we're gonna let AI do the whole work, do the work of finding the variables, the information that we're missing, so that the message we're gonna send later at this step is gonna be super personalized, right? This is why we use sniper rifles, because it needs to be super personalized. The more personalized, the higher the open rates, and the more the replies, and the more we can close deals. Now, what does this look like? It looks like this, all right? It's a bunch of columns, lines, rows with data. And what you don't understand here is that I only take care of scraping this data here and that one. So 2 columns out of all of these columns are handmade. It does the full research to get the other columns, which I will use to personalize the emails and have higher open rates. For example, as you can see here, 38% on a cold audience, 11% reply rate, which is pretty good in that industry. If you want a free template of that AI data enrichment, get it in the description for free. So next step is going to be to use all of that data and those emails we've collected, those leads, into an emailing tool. I use Instantly. You can use whatever tool you want. And the goal with that is to automate all the reaching out, so we don't need to manually send emails to every lead. And the thing that's important here is that it automates the follow-ups, because the conversation, the money is made in the follow-ups. Nobody will just reply to your first email. It happens when you're good, it happens often, but most likely you're gonna have to send follow-ups. You wanna show up consistently until they reply. And we automate all of that with those kind of tools. And once you do that, you start conversations, which is where the money is made, and then you direct to a call to action. Either you send a screen recording of yourself explaining the problem you're solving and showing that you can actually solve the problem of your leads. I've done 454 Loom videos. It worked very well for me. Then I switched to this one, which is Screen Studio, which is the thing I'm using right now to record my screen. You can send a Calendly link to book a call with you, or straight away you can send a Stripe link if you're ready to sell your thing and you think the lead is already warm enough. Now, I hope this helped. Just as a heads up, I've already enlisted a bunch of good videos that helped a lot of people. So if this helped, like and subscribe so you still find it when it goes unlisted. You'll find it here. Thanks for your time. See you in the trenches.